And I think we actually, as solemn as we were as we approached the podium there initially, that everybody said, oh no, you know, he's leaving.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
I just remember the explosion of emotion, just everybody leaping to their feet and screaming at the top of their lungs. It was just such a jubilation. And then out of the corner of my eye, I looked over and there was T. Martin kind of sitting there. And he was clapping, but he wasn't clapping nearly as loud as everybody else was.
You know, my mom told me, she said, God makes things happen for certain reasons. And I had to think about that for a while. Like, I want to play. But then that year, I developed so much as a quarterback.
There are a lot of guys that would have been in T. Martin's situation that would have said, that's it, I'm transferring, I'm going to go someplace where I can play. I'm not sitting behind Peyton Manning another year. T. Martin didn't do that.
I accepted it. You know, I was a team guy, and to me, that was the best decision for that football team.
I respect Peyton Manning for his decision to come back, but I also respect T. Martin as much or more for how he handled Peyton coming back.
Tennessee fans were thrilled with Peyton Manning's decision to return for his senior season. Hopes for a national championship and a Heisman Trophy were on the Volunteers' wish list. Tennessee opened the 1997 season against Texas Tech, and the senior signal caller riddled the Tech secondary for 310 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Vols won the opener 52-17. Tennessee ventured to the left coast the following week to play UCLA. With all eyes on Manning, the defense took the lead.
Touchdown, Corey Gaines.
Peyton Manning finally added to the onslaught, and Tennessee sailed to a 24-3 lead.
Rush throws the ball down into the end zone. It is touchdown, Big Orange.
In the second half, the Bruins mounted a comeback, but linebacker Leonard Little snuffed it out. He was named the SEC's Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts. Tennessee held on 30-24. Tennessee suffered a disappointing loss at Florida in Game 3. Struggling to find a running attack, the Vols turned to a freshman from Atlanta. His name was Jamal Lewis.
Checks off at the line. Now gives the ball off to Jamal Lewis, who pops through the left side of the line. Turns it on. He's at the 35.
Lewis blistered the Rebels for 155 yards.
What did he do? Scored for the Volunteers.
Tennessee won 31-17.
Here's Lewis.
The next week against Georgia, give the ball to Jamal became a favorite cheer among Vol fans.
Jamal Lewis pops up the middle, breaks to the outside. This will be Lewis. Lewis has the ball to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45. He's tackled as he gets to the 44-yard line.
Against his home state, he ran for 232 yards, the most ever by a true freshman at Tennessee. Manning was equally impressive. He became the 5th quarterback in the SEC to throw for over 9,000 yards. It was never a contest, and the Dogs were pounded, 38-13. Tennessee traveled to Legion Field on the 3rd Saturday in October for the annual battle with Alabama. Fullback Sean Bryson took the suspense out of this one early.
Touchdown, Sean Bryson.
Peyton Manning added 3 touchdowns.
Pull down at the 35, 30, cutting to the 25, back to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Peerless Wright.
Tennessee topped the Tide 38-21. Peyton Manning showed that he had talents other than throwing a football when he took a turn directing the pride of the Southland Band.
And those are the things that make Tennessee football so special, because there aren't any other places, I don't think, that really can create so many kind of off-the-field memories as much as Tennessee can.
High left pitch will go to Lewis, and the tailback needs a block, turns upfield at the 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, yes.
The Volunteers were on a roll. Lewis continued running, and Manning continued firing.
Manning dumps it out to the right side, pulled down by Lewis, breaks one tackle to the 20, has the ball to the 15, still on his feet at the 10. He's at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get him 6.
When Tennessee traveled to Little Rock, Peyton Manning led a 4th quarter rally to upend Arkansas.
Manning throwing the ball deep downfield. The pass is going to be complete at the 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6.
Apparently, Heisman voters had become bored with a one-horse race. Manning's winning numbers were solid, but suddenly a defensive back from Michigan named Charles Woodson was making a race of it. The level-headed Manning put aside any thoughts of a bronze statue. In doing so, he put up very Heisman-like numbers.
Touchdown, Manning!
He threw for an astounding 523 yards and 5 touchdowns in a duel with Tim Couch.
You know what happened. Touchdown, Andy McCullough!
Tennessee won a shootout, 59-31.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 touchdowns, 525 yards.
In spite of the performance, Manning's Heisman stock actually fell. To earn a trip to the SEC championship game in Atlanta, Tennessee needed to beat Vanderbilt. Emotions ran high at Neyland Stadium in Peyton Manning's and Leonard Little's final game. Fans were there in full force to savor their last run through the T.
Peyton Manning.
It wasn't easy, but Tennessee sent Manning, Little, and the rest of the seniors out in style.
Keeps to the near side. Touchdown, Peyton Manning!
The SEC Eastern Division Championship was clinched on this memorable day. Peyton Manning treated the crowd to one more special rendition of Rocky Top before packing for Atlanta.
I can remember that just being an exciting week after we beat Vanderbilt in the last home game, and kind of staying after on the field with the crowd, and just knowing next week we were going to Atlanta.
Tennessee had 1 week to get ready for the SEC championship game against its old rival Auburn. The Vols were favored, but in the 6 years since the teams last met, apparently the odds makers forgot what this rivalry was all about. Tennessee struck first.
And it is touchdown, Tennessee!
Auburn came back to score 20 straight points and led 20-10 at the half. Tennessee's defense held the Tigers in the second half to only 66 yards, but the Vols still trailed 27-17. That's when Manning came up big.
Manning rolls out to the left, looking into the end zone. Give him 6.
Tennessee took the lead for good with a Manning to Nash connection.
As Manning throws to the right side, it is grabbed at the 30, breaking a tackle, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Touchdown, Marcus Nash. The place is jammed. The Big Orange fans are happy. 4, 3, 2, 1. The champion of the Southeastern Conference for 1997, the University of Tennessee Volunteers.
The national and local airwaves were alive with discussion and debate over who should win the 1997 Heisman Trophy. Peyton Manning posted better numbers than the previous year's Heisman Trophy winner, but somehow the media reasoned his numbers were not good enough. His only flaw was being the season-long favorite in a year when the media grew bored with the process. When the votes were tabulated, Manning finished second to Charles Woodson. Tennessee fans were crushed, outraged, and bewildered. Manning, in his characteristic style, handled the entire situation with poise, grace, and class.